The way rehab loans work, well, particularly from Rehab Financial Group, is we give the borrower the opportunity to borrow both purchase and the rehab costs wrapped into a single loan. And then they can go buy the property. We can close very quickly. They can take up advantage of a great opportunity, and then we hold the rehab money, and as the rehab's done, we release the funds to the borrower, and hopefully in the end the borrower is either able to refinance the property and hold it as a rental for cash flow, or to sell the property at a profit.
How long is the loan for?
Our loans are 12-month interest-only loans.
How do you calculate the monthly payments on those? Well, let's say I found a property that was worth I bought it for $100,000 and it needs $50,000 in rehab. How do I calculate my monthly payments?
Well, what you would need would be $150,000 for that loan, unless you wanted to put some of your own cash into it. But we would then first evaluate the property to make sure it could carry the $150,000 loan. Specifically, we lend 65% of the after repaired value. That's determined by a professional licensed appraiser that we will arrange to have inspect the property, review the repairs you're expecting to do to the property, and give us a value of what the estimated after repaired value of the property is. And once we have that value from the inspector, then we can work backwards. For the truly qualified borrower, we will lend up to 65% of that money.
So how much would this property need to be worth?
So in your example, if you needed to borrow $150,000, we would divide that by 65 for the 65%. The property would need to appraise for approximately $231,000 to support the full loan, assuming that you meet all of our other underwriting criteria. We would be able to extend the loan at 65% of that appraised value.
Okay. What do you do after closing with the funds? Do I get the money for the rehab, or do you guys hold the money?
We hold the money. At the time we close the loan, we place your money into escrow.
Just the rehab?
Just the rehab piece. We will fund the purchase 100%. And you need to be able to get the rehab started on your own. And then as you are finished with pieces of the rehab, you can ask us for draws as frequently or as infrequently as suits you. You do have to remember that you do pay for every inspection, so you have to temper your need for the cash from the rehab draws versus the expense of the inspections. Some of our borrowers will take a very small draw up front just to get cash flowing, and then they will contact us further along the project. The borrower has as many or as few draws as they want. It's at their convenience and in whatever way works for them.
How much is a typical inspection for the draw?
Typically, for a single family or a 1 to 2 family or 2 family, it can be $100 to $150 or $75 to $150. It's really depending on the inspector and the complexity of the work being done.
And they inspect based on my initial repair list?
Yes, when you initially come to us with a property, we all have it appraised. We also have an inspector go and verify your repair list. And then the inspector really works up his own repair list and works with the borrower to get the repair list that's right for the project. And then that's the repair list we work against for the rest of the project. And I'll also say, with regard to the repair list, the more detailed it is, the more line items and price per line item you have on your repair list, the easier the draw process is.